Garcia scoops up the inside of T1, now takes P7 away from Oscar. And what a battle we have going on here is the number 11 Davis now putting pressure as well. But Oscar, you already know, has no intention of dropping down the field as he'll be looking at the good run on Garcia. And here we go, ladies and gentlemen.
Have you ever had one of those races where it's just non-stop hard racing with something going on at nearly all times throughout the race? Well, this week when I decided to try the Toyota GT86 League on iRacing, after realizing I was not a high enough class for the GT3s, I had one of those races. Pure thrill, excitement, and adrenaline throughout, and it's one of those things that make me actually appreciate iRacing despite all of the grudges I've had with it in the past. So, without further ado, sit back, relax, and enjoy.
Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to Belgium, and welcome to the Circuit Zolder, where today 14 Toyota GR86s will be battling it out in this exhilarating, quick, and world-class track.
Starting near the back of the grid, but in one of my favorite tracks, I felt optimistic about my potential for this race.
Okay, Oscar, here we go.
The safety car is rolling into the pits, and ladies and gentlemen, sit back and relax and enjoy as this race is about to start. And
green. 15 minutes remaining, 15 minutes to go.
And John Wallace head-to-head looking to take an early lead off T1. Henny and Levy side-by-side as well, but so far a clean start by the grid.
On your right side's clear.
Here comes OC Racing, up one position after taking the inside line off T1. Now looking to continue the climb, but the overall no time to get the job done. With 12 cars up ahead though, he sure has his work cut out for him today.
Up a few positions shortly into the lap, my confidence was growing. Now it was time to get my head down and keep on pushing.
Oscar up another position as a car went wide off turn 4 and now inching closer and closer to Luke up in front. Let's see if he's able to stick behind him and make a move happen.
As I kept on pushing, trying to inch closer to the guys up in front, I started to realize the pressure growing from behind. It was now time to remain cool, as even a small mistake could be costly.
Into the chicane, the midfield of this race is still very much bunched up as, oh, the number 3 squarely coming out of the turn, and Luke and Oscar gladly move up a position. OC Racing now up into 6 after capitalizing on others' mistakes, but now facing tremendous pressure from behind as the pack inches closer and closer. Let's see how he copes with the pressure.
Coming into the second lap, things could not have gone better. I'm up several positions after others have made mistakes, and I've been coping well with the pressure from behind. I was optimistic about my ability to keep on pushing and gaining even more positions, though I quickly realized that was unlikely to be the case.
Okay, Oscar, relax, focus, keep it smooth, P6.
After starting nearly last, OC Racing must be thrilled as he has moved up into 6th in just the first lap alone, but he'll be facing a tough rest of the race if he hopes to improve, let alone maintain this position.
This was it. It was either catch those in front or get swallowed by the midfield of this race.
The guy ahead is Levy.
The mistakes were creeping in, but I knew that if I wanted any chance of having a good result here, I would need to cope with the pressure and stay focused on what was ahead. Unfortunately though, I was racing in Zolder, which is notorious for its tricky track limit violations, something which I would be getting many of throughout the course of this race.
Just had a warning for cutting the track.
Oscar being noted for cutting the track on again. It's been a few times already, so he'll definitely need to watch out for that. Although with the pressure necessarily from behind, I'm sure he'll come.
The pressure was continuing to rise and things were quickly heating up.
Alright. Right side's clear.
Take a look at James Miller, near inches away from Oscar's bumper, desperate to make a move happen. What a race going on here between these two as we approach lap 3.
The leader has just done a 148.0.
Somehow I was in P5, though in the heat of the moment I could care less if I was first or last, as the only thing I could think about was my rear view mirror and the guy inching up from behind. This was like a game of cops and robbers, but on steroids. All of the steroids.
Closer and closer to Oscar. In the long straight, he'll surely pull off a move here, and yes, he does!
He's still there. We're right.
As the inside line, he just manages to make it stick. What an incredible show these two are putting on as Oscar, I'm sure, will be trying his hardest to gain that position back.
You already know I was, and with the driver up ahead and now feeling the same pressure, it wouldn't be long till we got right back at it.
Miller, and a bad exit off turn 8, and here comes the side.
Side by side once again. And
yes, they do. Miller leaving barely enough space for Oscar to make it through, but they still go side by side coming into the final chicane. Oscar this time will have the inside line.
Still there.
More drivers have entered the fight. The GR86 of Garcia coming in out of nowhere, now side by side again into lap 4.
Oscar, who for a moment thought he was
Still there. Still there.
Things were now serious.
Garcia scoops up the inside of T1, now takes P7 away from Oscar. And what a battle we have going on here is the number 11 Davis now putting pressure as well. But Oscar, you already know, has no intention of dropping down the field, as he'll be looking at the good run on Garcia. And here we go, ladies and gentlemen. Oscar with an incredible run back into P7. Garcia and Davis behind.
Still there. Still there. Clear left.
Garcia and Davis behind, now fighting themselves, coming into what looks like a dangerous chicane. This is a recipe for disaster. Disaster is what we get! Garcia and Davis collide in the chicane, and now out of this race, Oscar miraculously continues unscathed, and now he has a little breathing room after an intense last few laps. What a race we have going on here.
The two guys who have been knocking on my door the entire lap somehow managed to take themselves out, leaving me with a little breathing room out in front, but I couldn't get too comfortable as there were still lots more work still to do.
Why do I feel so blue? I need a meal like you. I need some bitches, some friends, and some jewelry. I'm trying to get like you. Sign me a deal like you. Foreign my whip like you. Give me a gun and pop me a nigga. I'm trying to be lit like you. Flex on the ground like you.
Looks like P2's gone off in Xbox. The gap in front is now 1.2.
At this point, I was once again pushing hard to try to maintain a gap, but it looks like I may have been pushing a little bit over the limit.
Don't understand why I'm not like you. They say comparison is a thief of joy.
We'll be warned about track limits.
And Oscar being notified once again about exceeding the track limits. He'll be needing to clean up on these small mistakes if he wants to maintain this strong position.
Halfway home, fuel's good. Hudson is getting closer. The gap's now 0.7. Stay on it. This isn't over yet.
Things were once again getting interesting. Though I felt I had decent pace, the driver behind was quickly approaching, and I was starting to get the eerie feeling that things were going to get interesting once again. Except this time, with the race close to finishing, I sure was not going to make things easy.
Okay, Oscar, hold your nerve, just keep it smooth, no mistakes.
And at this point, I certainly feel something brewing once again in that midfield. Miller in P6, pressure from Oscar, then pressure behind from Johnson. Slow. Race has been action-packed so far, a lot of hard racing calls and incidents, and it really doesn't have any signs of slowing down yet.
We've been warned about track limits.
With only a few laps left in this race, all I had to do was remain clean and smooth and bring home a great result. The problem is that pressure continued to rise from behind.
Miller slightly pulling away here as Johnson continues to inch closer and closer to Oscar.
And now it was game on. With just a few minutes left, I was going to defend this position as if my life depended on it.
Remaining, 5 minutes left. Stay on it, keep digging.
5 minutes remaining. Miller now into the slipstream of Oscar. Oscar holding on a P7 for dear life. Miller backing off. OC Racing, ladies and gentlemen, lives to see another day, but it won't be long until Miller, closely behind, decides to pull off another move.
Hudson behind is now 0.3.
Oscar at this point driving a little bit conservatively as he's trying to avoid costly mistakes. You can probably tell that at this point, and with only minutes left in the race, really taking that defensive line, keeping behind the five. How long he will keep that going as we enter these final few laps.
I had just one job. Do not, under any circumstance, mess this up.
Oscar continuing to take that defensive line. He's really feeling the pressure now. Miller once again knocking on his door. You see all those side-by-side attempts.
At this very moment, I was down bad. I knew that if I managed to mess this up, this would be my biggest blow yet in this iRacing series, and it also didn't help knowing that tens of thousands of people would be watching me do it.
Though OC Racing seemingly coping well with this pressure so far, Miller has not had a clear overtake opportunity up until this point, and we've seen tremendous improvement, I will say, by him throughout his last racing. More work yet to be done though. Let's see if he manages to keep it up.
Right side. Still there. Still there. Still there. Clear car right. He's still there. Clear right. That's 2 minutes left. 2 minutes.
Now we're into the penultimate lap, and Miller throwing absolutely everything at Oscar, who is somehow still managing to hold P7. What an absolute thriller is yet to come between these drivers as 2 minutes remain still in this race.
Boy from Rosario, Argentina, on behalf of every little boy wearing his shirt. Messi on 1,000,000 backs. Messi for 1,000,000 flashbulbs. Messi potentially to crown his stellar career.
No, Oscar with a bad exit off a T4. Now Miller has a run on him, and they're going up side by side, coming into the chicane once again.
Hold your line. Still there. He's still there. Hold your line.
Still side by side. These two drivers are absolutely leading everything on the track at the moment. But it looks like the Miller has finally found a way as he's gaining and will be taking the lead coming into T7. Miller finally has found a way past Oscar, and if things could not get worse for OC Racing, now to number 12 of Williams, coming out of absolutely nowhere, and is now on his right bumper. Oscar will have to decide whether to defend or try to gain back the position.
Losing P7 P6 on the penultimate lap after making a small mistake was a huge blow, but things were far from over. I had to make the decision of whether I could try to get the position back or play it safe and just defend and try to bring home a P7.
Final lap, ladies and gentlemen. Miller, Oscar, and Williams lead the midfield and are desperately trying to gain and not lose those last second positions after having fought ferociously this whole race to get where they are now.
Every time someone says no, that brings you another step to a yes. You're getting closer. Trust me, you will win if you don't quit.
Whatever goal you have, you're going to have some opposition. You're going to have some difficulties. You're going to have some challenges. You're going to have your inner conversation telling you can't do it, and you're going to have people picking at you.
Now into the slipstream of Oscar, who doesn't take the defensive line. Will he be able to hold on to it as William crawls on the inside, and he goes and it seems to be working as they are once again side by side.
He's still there.
Williams and Oscar, side by side, coming into yet another chicane, and oh, a big crash as they collide, and Williams off into the sand, but Oscar somehow nearly unscathed. Oh my god, and we'll be taking a look at that incident once again soon. But for the meantime, will Oscar be able to hold his position as he once again has another driver inching close to him?
Just a few more corners and my suffering would be over, but in perfect fashion, I still had one more thing to worry about.
Looks like you turn one. Clear right.
Oh, Jesus! I almost lost it, but not this time.
Oh, here you go. Oh, Jesus.
Oscar will be taking the defensive line nearly side by side. Who will take the win? Coming nearly side by side again. Will it be a photo finish? No, it won't, as Oscar manages to hold on and finishes P7. What a race he has endured today. An incredible race we have witnessed here in Zolder. Oscar,
That was fun.
Quite a brilliant drive, managing to climb up from nearly last to end in a strong P7. Certainly working hard for it.
After that stressful yet very fun race, I was expecting better results to my safety and I rating than I ended up receiving, but with a solid P7 after starting nearly last, I was very satisfied with my performance, and that's all that really matters. Anyways, with regards to the incident, he seemed to drive into me for no real reason, and of course ended up spinning out, so I don't think it was my fault, but please let me know your thoughts in the comments. Remember to enter my giveaway of the Thrustmaster TH8A shifter using the link in my bio, and with all that being said, as always, thank you all for watching, stay safe, and have a fantastic rest of your day.
Don't hit me. Okay, Jesus.